Hey everyone, welcome to Area 616 and today 2 of the Punisher week. Today I wanted to do a sort of updated version of a video I've done before to some capacity. Today I'm going to try and predict the future of the Marvel Netflix shows. I'll try and determine what future season stories will be when they'll hit Netflix, as well as talk a bit about just what will happen to them when Disney's streaming service starts up. So with all that said, let's get started with Jessica Jones Season 2. Season 2 of Jessica Jones finished filming on September 14th, 2017, so it's been in post-production for about 2 months now. So far we have a teaser poster for Season 2 from Joe Quesada, as well as a couple of confirmed returning characters and new additions. The cast of Season 2 that we know of right now includes the returns of Trish, Malcolm, Kilgrave, and Hogarth. Kilgrave will most likely not be alive in this. I think he'll just be in the heads of Jessica and, based on this set picture, Malcolm, demonstrating that Kilgrave will leave his victims damaged long after he's gone. The new additions include Janet McTeer in an unconfirmed role, assumedly as the villain, and Leia Gibson as someone named Ingrid, someone who's described as having street smarts but also knowledge in nursing. Another addition is J.R. Ramirez as Oscar, a single father who moves into the same building as Jessica. Also, Simpson, aka Nuke, will be returning. My predictions are that McTeer is playing the head of IGH, the organization responsible for Simpson's powers as well as Jessica's. I used to think Ingrid was a code name and that Gibson's actually playing Typhoid Mary, a Daredevil villain, but it doesn't really make sense for them not to announce that, along with the actress's casting. I mean, why would they give a fake name instead of building a pipe for a pretty well-known villain? I also predict that Luke Cage will make some kind of cameo in Season 2, though probably not for too long, if I had to guess. Maybe him and Jessica will just grab a drink or something. I don't think Trish will go full-on Hellcat in this season. In fact, I'm honestly not sure she'll ever do that, just because of how much it could potentially clash with this show's tone. But I think we will still get some teases towards it, with her taking more of a combat-involved role here. I'm actually really expecting a teaser trailer for this to be released this Friday alongside The Punisher, so be ready for that. If I had to guess, I'd say this should hit Netflix on January 19th, 2018. That might seem too close, but honestly March just seems way too long to wait. And it probably wouldn't be in February, as the Netflix spot for that month, which is to say the third Friday of the month, seriously look it up, they always do that, is already taken by Black Panther. So I honestly think it'll be January. I'm probably wrong, but hopefully not. Oddly enough, we actually know more about Luke Cage's villains than we do Jessica Jones's, even though it comes after. Mustafa Shakir has been cast as John McIver, aka Bushmaster, who is said to be a leader of sorts in Harlem, who's out for vengeance. Gabrielle Dennis has been cast as Tilda Johnson, aka Nightshade, a holistic doctor in Harlem who finds herself in trouble, even though she tries to avoid it. We also know that Shades and Mariah Dillard will be back, along with Claire Temple, Misty Knight, Bobby Fish, and some new additions with Iron Fist. My guess is that the Heroes for Hire probably won't officially start up just yet. I'm thinking they'll save that for another season/show, but I definitely do see Danny coming in about halfway through the season, with him and Luke teaming up to fight some threat, possibly one that hasn't been revealed yet. It's also said that this season will explore Luke having a public identity and what that's like. I also think Luke and Claire might just get married, honestly. I know a lot of people are wanting Claire to go away so him and Jessica can get together like in the comics, but I don't think that's happening anymore. So I think they'll carry out a version of the comic story with Claire. I honestly just couldn't see this version of Jessica Jones marrying anybody. This season should finish filming next month. Mike Coulter has said he'll be filming until March, but I think he's actually saying he'll be filming his stuff for Iron Fist going into March, which actually matches up really well with Iron Fist's schedule, as Iron Fist is set to start filming as soon as Luke Cage will probably finish. So with that said, I'd expect Luke Cage Season 2 to hit Netflix on either March 16th or April 20th, 2018. Despite earlier reports, it has been confirmed that Daredevil Season 3 started filming just yesterday, not last month as previously thought. This means that the rumor saying it will film until June, an uncannily long time, is probably false. So with that said, this will probably actually finish filming in April next year. So far, there haven't been any new cast additions, just a couple of confirmed returning characters, and some leaked character breakdowns. We know that Karen Page, Foggy Nelson, and Wilson Fisk are all returning. Beyond that, based on the Defenders ending, I'd say it's likely we'll also see Elektra in here, as well as Vanessa. I also kind of think Iron Fist might appear, though I'm not sure about that. Filming dates-wise, it would be very complicated, and it honestly wouldn't add enough to the plot to be worth it. But so far, we have a ton of breakdowns for various FBI agents, with codenames like Steve, Gordon, Higashi, and Ben Jeffries. Though keep in mind, these are probably all codenames and not final. Lots of speculation that Steve is Sin Eater, a Daredevil villain not unlike the Punisher. And with this heavy FBI presence, I think this could feature a loose adaptation of the Murdoch Papers, with Fisk possibly leaking Daredevil's identity online. This would be a good way to adapt the Born Again story with a new twist, which featured Fisk returning to systematically dismantle Daredevil's life. Also, rumors say one of the villains here will be Bullseye, which I really hope is true. I think this will probably hit Netflix next summer, probably on August 17th, 2018, if I had to guess. As of right now, we know that Colleen Wing, Joy Meacham, Ward Meacham, and Davos will all be returning for Season 2, along with the addition of Misty Knight. I think it's also quite likely that Luke Cage will be in this. As I said before, Mike Coulter has said he'll be filming until March, so I think this is what he's filming. This would imply that Luke has a pretty big role in Season 2, which makes sense. Defenders was praised for making Danny much more bearable due to his interactions with the other Defenders, so putting more of them in here could very well lead to an improvement with his character. Also, I believe Madame Gao might potentially return. It was implied at the end of Iron Fist Season 2 that she had a plan for Danny, though I guess that might have just been the events of the Defenders. And while we don't see her escape, we also don't see her die, so I think she might be alive and out for revenge. With this season, I think the first half of it will prominently feature the Heroes for Hire and Joy's revenge plot as the story, keeping Danny in New York, and then around episode 7 or 8, Danny will go searching for Kun Lun or something like that. Also, I would expect Danny to get the Iron Fist costume, finally, probably from Kun Lun. I think this season could potentially dive into the contest between the 7 capital cities of heaven that is held every 88 years, and or some of the corruption in Kun Lun's government that has been demonstrated in the comics. Also, I'd really love to see Sparrow make an appearance as a childhood friend of Danny's while he is in Kun Lun. This will start filming on December 9th, so I'd expect it to finish sometime in May, with it most likely hitting Netflix in the fall. When exactly will probably depend on when Daredevil Season 3 hits, but I'm betting it'll be on October 19th, 2018. This one will be hard to predict as the show isn't technically out yet, so I'm not really going to talk about the story. I'm going to talk about season renewals and how that will occur. The Punisher will most certainly get renewed for a Season 2. The thing is that it might not be on Netflix. I won't go super in depth with it as I made a video about it just last week. I'll link to that in the description if you want more information, but basically all of these shows will most likely be leaving Netflix and going on to Disney's new streaming service in 2019. It's possible they could get a second season for The Punisher on Netflix before January 1st, 2019, which is assumedly when all of these shows will be leaving, if we're to take this literally. However, that would be very hard to pull off considering the long shooting schedules, and it would also have to be literally in December. But if that's the case, then Netflix would only be running it for a maximum of 3 weeks. So in other words, it's very likely that Season 2 of The Punisher will be the first of these shows to put out new episodes on Disney's service, probably in early 2019. So this will probably start filming next summer. As much as it will suck to see these shows leave Netflix, as long as they are allowed to continue being as dark as they are, which they should be, then this could actually be a good thing for all of these shows. The biggest complaint across the board for all of these is that they all feel like they struggled to stretch their stories to 13 episodes. Every single one of them felt like they could have been about 3 or 4 episodes shorter. On Disney's service, maybe they could have a fresh start and bump down the episode number from 13 to 10. This would not only help deliver better, slicker storytelling, but it would also allow for higher budgets, something Iron Fist could use well. Also, it would make the overnight viewing experience much less damaging. Just saying. But there you have it. Those are all my predictions for Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and The Punisher's upcoming seasons. I can't wait to see how wrong I am. But what do you guys think? What are some of the things you'd like to see happen in future seasons? And do you think it would be a good idea for them to bump down the number of episodes? Let me know all your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time on day 3 of the Punisher week.
Oh shit, what the hell have we done? It's alive and it's hungry as fuck. Better hide all the snacks and the dough when it's out of my control. You a shit out of luck. I don't wanna be unfair, but the pair we got beat that weak shit you got. Good spot without new box. Who's right? Good squad without nuance. I don't wanna sound unkind, but the sounds I make.